7 Days to Die 2.5 update is right around the corner, and we just got a bunch of new information surrounding that update. I'm talking jars, third person, free cosmetics, quest improvements, new recipes, and most importantly, a new Trader Gen model. All jokes aside, there's a ton of new features to unpack, so let's get right into it. What's up guys, it's Melee Damage 15 here, and I'm so excited to bring you this update video. Let's start out with the release window. In typical Fun Pimp fashion, we still don't have an official date, even though the update will probably drop within the next week. We know this because it states right here at the beginning of the patch notes that the stable version, which will be on both PC and console, will be out before the holidays, aka Christmas. Now typically, experimental drops a week or two before the stable update, and if you watch my last video update, you will see that Fatal had said that he expected there to be a couple 2.5 experimental versions before the stable version releases. If that is still true, then that puts our first experimental drop window to probably within a week from today. Then probably a patch to the experimental the following week, with the stable patch releasing to everyone right before Christmas. The Fun Pimps did put a warning here before upgrading to 2.5. If you have any workbenches crafting, or are crafting anything in your queues, go ahead and clear those before updating, as those will more than likely be cancelled and you will not receive a refund for the items used to craft. Also, for console players or anyone that uses a controller, your controller keybinds will be reset to default, so make sure that you take a look at that when you load up the game after the update. Now we got some more information on how the jar rebalance will look like, and what they wanted to do was combine the old jar system with the current water system now. So early game you will find jars and fill them with murky water from any man-made body of water, so no toilets, sinks, etc. You will then boil the water like normal to make it drinkable. Now, closer to mid-game, aka after finding 15 magazines and getting to level 16 workstation crafting, you will unlock the Dew Collector, which will be the main source of water still. You can still continue to find and use jars, but the Dew Collector will definitely be better. The Dew Collector will also take more resources to craft. Jars are also one-time use items, and you do not get a jar back from drinking one. A quick update to jars that was literally added as I was making this video. Jars will be craftable once you have the crucible in the forge, so this prevents players from crafting a ton of jars at the early game and pushes it further into the playthrough. It will cost 31 sand and 6 clay soil without perks. So overall, I personally like the changes, and I don't. I hope there are still tweaks to be made in the future. I don't really like that you can't get a jar back, and somehow the jars just disappear after drinking, but I am happy that they're not insanely OP like they used to be. Vehicles are about to get a massive update. First off, by default, each vehicle will have more storage slots. The bike gets an extra 1, mini bike 3, moto 4, gyro 5, and 4x4 gets an extra 9 storage slots. We can also now add vehicle storage mods to vehicles to increase the storage capacities. You can add a total of 2 vehicle storage mods, which each raise the storage capacities by 10 for a total of 20 extra storage slots. This means that a 4x4 with 2 storage mods on it now has 29 more slots compared to what we currently have. Loot Goblins Unite. You will also see visual changes to the vehicles with the storage mods on them, similar to the other vehicle mods that you can add. Now, if you didn't already know, the Plague Spitter and the Frostclaw will be retired in 2.5, and will be replaced with the Rancher and Chuck Zombies respectively. Both will have the same special attacks, and are supposed to be reworked for a bit of balance. Smell is back and better than ever in my opinion. This is one of the features that I'm personally really excited for. I don't carry a lot of food on me in the game, but this will change the experience of the game even if you don't carry a lot of food. So having 5 bits of food will now create smell. Just by killing a boar in the burnt forest gives you way more than that, so your hunting trips could turn deadly quickly. You get 10 seconds of grace after reaching 5 meat in your inventory before the smell starts to attract Zeds. Raw meat has a distance radius that can extend and grows until it reaches the maximum distance, which is dependent on how much raw meat you have on you. It will eventually dissipate, and you can also counter this by putting the meat in a storage container or vehicle, or by wrapping the meat in paper and plant fibers. Consuming food now also causes smell, so if you eat a can of food while raiding the kitchen, which I always do, then zombies will be more aware of you in this update. Flatulence from dysentery also makes you smell, which I thought was so funny that they added this. The max smell distance is 100 meters and is reduced when you are indoors. You can also submerge yourself into water to get rid of your smell. When the smell reaches the zombies, they will run to you by default. You can change this in the settings with a new AI smell mode option, which can be disabled or set to walk, jog, run, sprint, or nightmare speeds. Again, super excited for it as it adds more of a threat to the game. Distant storms are coming, which is mainly a rendering which allows you to see the storm clouds in the distance even from another biome close by. This is so you don't walk into a storm that is going on in another biome without being aware of it. Speaking of biome hazards, the Fun Pimps are separating biome hazards, storms, temperature, and protective clothing, which makes survival even tougher. The biome hazards have been reworked with new messages and icons to complement the face covering gear that they added in the last update that protect against the airborne hazards that are in each of the 4 biomes outside of the forest. Storms allow more grace period when you wear clothing that is coming back to the game. Without clothing, you get a base of 30 seconds. Zombies will be more aggressive and active during the storms, and will have a higher chance of dropping loot during the storms. Temperature is back as well. Depending on the time of day, or if you're in shelter or shade, or you're wet, etc., this will affect your character's temperature. Holding a torch or consuming specific items will boost cold resistance, while wearing specific protective clothing can help with both cold or heat. Heat debuffs have 2 levels, hot and sweltering, which both increase your water consumption and reduce movement speed. Cold debuffs also have 2 levels of severity, which are cold and freezing. They both increase food consumption over time and to recover stamina, and reduce movement speed. Now for the protective clothing, there are 4 item groups added, including socks, cap liners, long underwear, and glove liners. There are 3 tiers to each of these groups, which are tattered, patchwork, and thermal core. Clothing does not degrade, but obviously the better tiers work better with regulating temperature. On top of that, there are 3 levels of armor insulation mods to further assist with temperature resistance. If you enjoy 7 Days to Die, then make sure to subscribe and check out more videos on my channel. I have several Let's Plays and tutorials on 7 Days, so go give those a watch as well. The bee farm is coming in this update. It is unlocked at workstation crafting level 30. To craft it, you will need 5 beeswax, 100 wood, 50 nails, 10 forged iron, and 8 duct tape. Beeswax is new to the game and can be collected from tree stumps or from loot drops by the rancher. The apiary will be fueled by 10 chrysanthemum, or goldenrod, or cotton. You will get 1 honey every 2 in-game days by default. Opening the apiary has a chance to spawn bees. However, this can be cancelled out by adding the smoker mod, which removes the chance to spawn bees. The brood box doubles the capacity of stored honey, and the extractor doubles the speed of honey produced. I really like what they did here and how they made it so you're not getting a ton of honey every single day. Now, along with honey being a bit more abundant, they added 3 new recipes to the game. In my last update video, I talked about how I hoped they would be adding recipes, and here we are. We have honey tea, honey glazed sham, and honey brisket, which is now the best food in the game, giving you 150 food points. Now, the tea and brisket both say that they also cure infection. The honey glazed ham, however, doesn't say that, but I assume it would also be the same. But we'll have to wait and see. Third-person camera is finally here. It's no longer a debug mode and actually a feature to the game. You can set a quick keybind to easily switch back and forth. This provides so much more to the game, especially for console players. Now we actually have a purpose for cosmetics and we can see our characters. There will be a bunch of settings that are added for the third-person camera, including a default setting when you start the game, third-person FOV, camera distance, as well as a camera mode which allows you to have a detached orbiting camera or a locked camera. Server hosts will also have a setting to lock the server to a specific setting if they so choose. Key binding is getting a new quick actions menu which allows you to open a radial menu of new settings. You can also swap the camera side to look around corners when in third person and can adjust a scope's default zoom level. Additional bindings are being added for tool belt slots and shortcuts to controllers. I feel like overall, if you have a controller that has extra buttons, these new keybinds will really benefit you. The turret's ammo is getting massively improved. You can now put any ammunition tier in the turrets, which allows you to do more damage to specific enemies, for example armor piercing for tough enemies, and hollow points for standard enemies. There is also an upcoming update which will address more advanced entity piercing mechanics for the higher tier ammunitions. The quest system is improved by making sure that the starter quest and first trader that you go to has a lot of nearby quest locations or a near city, so you don't go to a trader that is out in the middle of nowhere and your first quest is 1,000 kilometers away or further. Traders will now also have 7 quest options per tier and will be separated by 3 close distance, 3 medium distance, and 1 far distance, so you can choose more how you want to play. The in-game character window is getting revamped by rendering in a perspective camera view and 4-point lighting, and you can rotate the character now. We are getting some free cosmetics with this update as well. The Fun Pips are adding the original Survivors pack, which features the original male and female 7-day survivors. It will be in the in-game DLC menu, and you can claim it when the 2.5 update drops as stable. We are also getting a free Santa hat that you can find while looting during the holidays. The last update mentioned is what I mentioned earlier, that Trader Jen is getting a new model. This one might not be finished by 2.5 stable and might come in one of the bug fix patches after. We'll have to see how she looks like. In the picture they put here, she looks slightly different, so I don't know if it's just that she looks a bit more HD or if it's a totally different model altogether. We'll just have to wait and see. Thank you so much for watching this video. Which update excites you the most? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as use the new hype function to help support the channel. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.